April 7th, 1912. Waves of grey clouds pass over the London streets. It's the same as any other day, yet perhaps with a touch more of a biting chill in the air, as something strange, something beyond the streets, is hunting. Perhaps the only indication that there is something amiss appears in the sporadic changes in the wind. A burst of rain, not uncommon in London these days, urges those walking the streets to hurry to their destination with a touch more urgency than before. They may not know it yet, but some lingering instinct knows to seek out the safety of their homes. One such figure, however, does not need any such encouragement, as Eliza Fontaine is on her way to meet with her cousin to discuss a delicate family matter. Matteo, where do we find you and your character today?
I think you find my character, Josephus Fontaine, in probably like a family like library, uh, just researching something regarding a case that he's already working on. Um, yeah, dimly lit, musky book smell.
Josephus, there is a very rapid knocking at the front door, pulling you out of whatever text you are currently reading.
Another one. He lifts himself up, dusts himself off, and gets to the door. And he's like, not expecting guests. Who is it?
The voice calls out, "You really think I'm a guest there? It's me, Eliza.
Oh,
Get me out of this rain, if you would, please."
okay, my apologies. And he opens the door and ushers her in, kind of takes her coat, hangs it.
Eliza gives a warm, familiar smile as you take her coat and her hat. She's like, "I know I was not supposed to be stopping by today, but we have a little bit of a problem, and the family needs your help. I'm not interrupting too much, am I?"
Oh no, just you know, researching uh, as per usual. What is it this time that they need?
She gives a nod of understanding, puts a hand on your arm in a comforting touch. It's like, "We've got word of something a little touch more disturbing than normal. There are some unusual activities a bit down south. We'll have to pull you out of your current research to help find a peculiar item, something potentially cursed. And if it's cursed, well, let's say that's the best case scenario." As she pauses before kind of reaching into her bag and pulling out some folded papers to hand to you.
Kind of perceives it, uh, shuffles through them.
As you look through, the papers are very inconspicuous at first. Looks like strange notes written on dirty paper, some scraps, notes that have been passed back and forth. But with your keen eye, I would like you to make a knowledge roll.
It's a 15 with hope.
Excellent. As you look through these, very quickly picking up that the writing is shifting almost as if something has been imbued in the ink itself, recognizing that something unnatural has been put here to mask the true intention of these messages. And with that, you have dealt with plenty such things. You know the exact tools needed. You have them here in your desk to uncover exactly what is written there as a simple application of heat and a splash of lemon juice and a little touch perhaps of some uh, specially blessed salt that you have acquired in your travels is able to break away whatever magic concealed these notes. As the very brief one or two sentences on each paper here indicates that these two unnamed figures are discussing preparation. The notes read, "The song must be sung. We require our instruments." The next note indicates, we must meet, uh, and there is a strange symbol in here, one that you don't recognize. A spiraling, uh, jagged shape that is not familiar to you, but you make note of it as you are sure it will come into relevance later. As the next note has a an address, a warehouse in Southampton, and the note then reads, "Come as fast as you can." And then April 9th. We must be ready.
I think reading it and going over it, Josephus would look up and say, "Cousin looks like someone's trying to form a band, and you want me to go break it up?"
Eliza gives a little smile, but Sam, the a band perhaps, but the music might be something a little bit more less appealing to the human ear. There have been some of our family and associates of reason why this is so pressing is the reference of a song that has been brought up in some other encounters they have had with the different cultists and vagabonds that we encounter in our line of work. Looks like something is being plotted, something is being planned, and we don't have much time to deal with this. You are, right now, the closest member of the family to Southampton, as Southampton is not that far, a bit south from London. Uh, she then pausing, my parents don't normally we would just handle this in the family. My parents think that this might be a touch more beyond our normal call. You have had some luck with some associates, some different friends in your travels. That big beefy man with those big old fists, that might be useful. That dapper gentleman with the silver tongue and dashing young lady, and I'm sure those would be useful associates to have, and anyone else that might catch your fancy. But and again, the hand goes on your arm, but it squeezes a little bit more with that touch of urgency and unease that Eliza, you can see it in her face, doesn't quite know how to describe herself. Again, that gut instinct that is in the air, and you feel it as well, kind of nestling in the base of your stomach, that this is something different than you have faced before, something much more threatening. As innocuous as these notes sound, that symbol, the fact that you and your no one in your family knows means, is a cause for concern.
Yeah. I hear you, cousin. Well, I should make haste then. You're welcome to tarry here, but I'll start getting my things together and put out a few missives to my contacts.
Of course, of course. Should you need anything from the family, I'll be here in London. You can send a telegram to my hotel. Let me know what happens at this warehouse. If you can get there soon enough, you might be able to sort out at exactly what it is that they're doing. But I'll leave you to your preparations.
Much obliged. I will keep you in the loop.
Mhm. Thank you, cousin. She gives you a hug before setting back out into the rain. As we have Josephus alone for a moment, how is he reacting? How is he feeling after this abrupt assignment?
I think there's definitely, I think, just a long sigh of another case being added on, but this one taking priority over all the others. And he's pulling out the page again with like these swimming words and just like really looking at this symbol, trying to just really draw any connection to anything he's seen in the past, and uh, you know, sort of not finding much there is kind of collecting them into a little folder. He opens a drawer in his desk, and there's a handful of rings, and he's like, "Well, this require a little elbow grease." And yeah, he starts telegramming.
All right.
What
And who does Josephus reach out to first?
I think the most immediate contact he'd have on hand is probably Chester. Um, Reached out to Chester a lot for just a little muscle and going into places. Josephus isn't the strongest man about, but this he knows a lad who's quite good with his meat hooks.
Excellent. And so you send you said you were sending a telegram to Chester.
Yes,
What do you say in the telegram?
Chester, dear friend, trusted ally. A job has fallen into my lap that confounds me. I believe there may be some, how do you say, heads to smash. Um, and well, I have, we both know that tends to be left. I would like you to meet me down in Southampton. And he gives like an address to like a really cheap hotel.
Beautiful. As the first of the telegrams goes out, the courier ushering it away with the greatest haste. As where do we find our first of our group? As where does a courier deliver this message to Chester Pope?
There's there's an old gym Chester used to fight at. Um, Long since been closed down, but he inherited it. Uh, he mostly at this point works for the Fontaine family. That's where most of his income comes from. But most of his days are actually just taken up dealing with the consequences of mostly working for the Fontaine family. All sorts of various people coming along, different cultists and different kinds of folks who dabble in the dark arts, who are mad about one thing or another, who are a little worried about going directly for the Fontaine family, but they remember the big, broad gentleman with the distinctive silhouette who just showed up and threw some tables around. So they think that's an easier mark. So I think that you find Chester in this abandoned gym, and there's some kind of assassin sent after him. This person has their face covered in bandages. They have like a wicked cult looking knife and like a symbol on it that it just makes no sense. And Chester is just fully like, this is how he gets his exercise in, his time spent. So Chester's just kind of shadow boxing, letting the third person come at him, throwing a fist here or there, giving him a little bit of like, "Ah, you almost got me there. You're gonna have to be a little faster, but you're closer every time."
The assassin making these strikes out is getting more and more frantic. The taunting, causing it to causing this masked figure to stagger a little bit. This curved blade in their hand, swiping erratically, as they just go, "It's like, why won't you just stay still and let me stab you?"
Well, that wouldn't be sporting, little guy. Let's do this. Why don't you stand still first, and I'll hit you, and then if you're still up, I'll stand still, and you can stab the Jesus out of me.
there is a very brief moment where this assassin actually thinks about taking that up as he
Well, they're thinking I've punched them in the top of the head.
excellent, just an absolute bonk. As I'd like you to make our first attack roll.
That's the same as the normal
Yes,
rolls,
your
right?
2d12s, and if you're using any weapons, whatever modifier those have.
+2. All right, that's going to be a 12 with hope.
Excellent. As just an immediate blow on the top, just right on the top of this guy's head. They stagger and just kind of fall down, and with them still conscious, but just on the floor groaning, you catch sight of a young boy standing in the doorway holding an envelope with your name on it, eyes wide, absolutely not sure what's happening.
Hey there, little guy.
Oh,
Hey there, little guy. Get in
are you
here. What
Mr.
do you want?
Pope?
Yeah, Chester Pope. What can I do for you, kid? You here to stab me too?
No, sir, no, sir. I would never, ever dream of doing such a thing for you. To you. I'm here to deliver a letter from Mr. Fontaine.
Yeah, I got it. Why don't you read it to me?
As he very nervously steps forward, giving a wide berth around this figure on the floor that still is just like, I'm not done with you yet. But the
I'm
young
done with
boy
you, Smokestack.
the young boy will open the envelope and read the message that Josephus has sent, instructing you to meet him at this hotel in Southampton.
He looks back at the kid and he goes, did Fontaine tip you?
Yes, sir. Miss Mr. Fontaine always tips well.
All right, good. Then skedaddle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, Again, the little boy just looks at this figure on the ground and realizes that he might have walked into something that has altered the course of his life. But that's a story for another day.
He looks down at the groaning assassin. He says, "Listen, I got to hit the bricks. You do me a favor and lock up when you leave." And he tosses the keys to him and he steps out the front door.
The key just kind of scatters on the floor. The assassin briefly reaching for it, very confused about the shift in this dynamic again. It's like, I'll get you one day, Pope. Coughs up a little blood.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. I'll be here. Just do me a favor and lock up before you leave, or I won't be so nice next time.
There's again another pause. All right, I'll lock up.
There you go. Agreeable young fella.
Excellent. As Chester Pope, you head out to find your employer. And with that, we go back to Josephus. As who do you send a telegram to next?
I think in the time that Josephus is watching this first courier run off, I don't know how couriers work. I don't know if he just has like a line of
I
couriers.
yeah, you can either send all of the letters with the same little boy or hire out different ones. Uh, Up to you.
I think it's with the same one. I
Yeah.
think uh, as he's puzzling over the symbol, he thinks of someone he knows who trades in information, and he sends this one to Edith Sparrow, and he's just this is Edith. I have a inquiry that someone of your talents might be able to assist me with, and an opportunity for you to lead in the discovery. Should you not be able to unravel this symbol yourself already? Um, there's just written in the letter.
Oh,
I'll,
excellent.
I have a job in Southampton, and I'm assembling a team of sorts. Your services would be greatly appreciated, and I hope to meet you at this address and the same one that he puts in the former.
All right. As we then, our young courier goes to make his second delivery, still feeling a little confused about what he saw there. But where do we find Edith?
We find Edith in her personal study. You see, she has at her desk lots of various letters and paperwork set out that she's perusing, making notes as she pieces through um, all of her recent acquired knowledge that she has gotten through perhaps less than honorable means. Uh, and I think probably she hears a knock at the door as this courier comes up, and she kind of pauses, not expecting anyone. And she reaches into the desk to grab a dagger and just kind of hides it behind her back as she gets up to walk to the door and then opens it.
You see this little boy that, as he opens doors, there's a brief moment where like he kind of like peeks behind you in that sense of what has he gotten himself into. But seeing that it is just you, is like, uh, hello, are you Miss Edith Sparrow? I have a delivery for you from Mr. Fontaine.
Edith like totally relaxes and she kind of like puts her body in the way of the door to like block the sight into her office. She leans against the door frame. Why, yes, I am. What do you have for me?
Here you are, miss. Letter, priority mail from Mr. Fontaine himself.
She'll take it. Well, thank you. Off with you. You can return.
Yes, miss. Thank you, miss. Runs away to go continue on with his work. Much more relieved with that encounter. But Edith, you open the message, the details, and the symbol from that, and Edith, make me a knowledge roll
Okay.
as well to see how familiar you are with this symbol.
That is only a 5 with hope. Not very experienced.
As in looking at it, it just does not look like anything that you've encountered in the various work that you have done. There's a part of you that thinks it might be familiar, but not in any of your jobs. Maybe something that's somebody else had or referenced, but it just unfortunately slips through your mind, and you're not able to figure out what this means. But you are more than capable of finding that out as the job goes, as you have had plenty of experience working with the strange and unnatural.
Yes, I think Edith, you see like kind of a light in her eyes at the idea of gaining some kind of knowledge she didn't have before as she peruses the contents. It says, my, Josephus, what have you gotten us into now? She walks over to her desk and she makes for her own records to keep, like in her little notebook where she keeps all of the knowledge that she acquires. As someone who deals in knowledge, she always makes sure that she has a copy of anything she gives out just for her reference later on. So she'll like scribble down the symbol and anything that she might find to be of note. And then she grabs it back, starts packing her things, sticking in her trusty dagger, and gets ready to head off to Southampton.
Excellent. Right. As Edith heads out, we return once more to Josephus penning another letter. What is in your next letter?
So this letter, I think Josephus actually pulls this contact from people that he was investigating. Um, he pulls the name Theodore Covid or Corbett. The Discord message. Oops. Um, Master Theodore. I must confess I don't know your title, but I've been following your work for some time. Indeed. I've been following your work for some time. I understand that you are like my family. You have a talent for acquiring artifacts of the magical nature. Um, I understand you have an occult following as well, and so you are also, in a sense, uniquely qualified for a team that I'm bringing together. If you would be so interested in possibly recovering an artifact, um, please do meet me in Southampton. Post haste. This job is urgent, and yeah, he sent this one up. To
All right.
Theodore.
All right. As with that letter, our courier makes the next stop. Where do we find Theodore Corvid?
Um, you would find Theodore um, deep in the bayous of New Orleans, um, on a large plantation, um, and there are plenty of tents and small huts set on the property. But deep inside, there is a large home, uh, quite expensive looking, opulent, but dark on the inside. It's empty. Uh, as you go deeper into the home, there is a office that is closed, and inside this office is a bunch of different expensive jewels and trinkets, and other things like that, silks and just all types of treasures from all over. In the middle of this office, you find Theodore currently hovering slightly off of the floor as his eyes shift and vibrate within his head. Black veins pulsate from his neck as he ties his very sanity to his patron. Um, as the endless speaks to him, telling him that a new job shall be arriving soon and to prepare himself.
There is at that moment, as this letter arrives, sent with a different courier passing over the ocean. Again, that knock at the door. Just as you hear that, notice that someone will be reaching out.
As the knock happens, Theodore falls to the ground, shakes his head a bit. Right. He adjusts his very nice silken black suit and dusts off, fixes his slicked back hair. Uh, his eyes begin to gain focus. Right. Time to begin. Walks down and opens the door. Uh, you're a bit late, aren't you?
The delivery person just staggers back. It's like, what do you mean late? We just got the message in this morning. I do not know what you are implying there, sir. We we got this and it was marked priority.
This is what they call priority these days. Um, you you just lay about like a gold brick. But fine, give me the parcel or whatever you brought my way.
The courier nods before handing over the letter from Josephus. It's like again, just that little, just confused by the indication that this was late. But we'll leave you with the letter.
He reaches out and grabs the letter, but also grabs his hands. Tell me, are you looking for family?
I want you to make a presence roll.
Right. And that's just a duality roll plus my presence, yeah?
Yes.
Wow. That is um a 20, that's a 23 with fear.
Very nice. As there is a moment, as this is a success with fear, uh, that you see the man's eyes go wide as he looks into your eyes, and you are able to tap into that. This is and seeing this man is alone, working hard, but at a menial job that gets no satisfaction, deals with people that dismiss him every day, as you offer him a glimpse, a possibility of something else out there. And this courier, as that is a success with fear, will offer you through your journey some information in the future. Uh, what that information will be and what cost comes with it, we will see later. But now you see that you have instantly enthralled this man. Says he it just looks at you. Absolutely, sir.
What was your name?
My name is Birdie. Bert.
Birdie. Brother Birdie. Yeah, right. Listen, come inside. It's a gully washer out here. I'm gonna put on my glad rags and we can be on our way.
Anything you need me to do, sir? As he will come in with you, and will help make, in any way possible, the preparations for you to join everyone in Southampton. Again, offering connections to locals that might be able to help out should you need it. And with that, we arrive at Southampton. The four of you converging on this small hotel, very discreet, not out of the way, uh, not too posh, not going to draw a lot of attention. Looks like many others that are here for similar purposes of the four of you simply just wanting to have a place that won't get anyone to notice them. But the four of you are currently being noticed as you arrive, meeting each other in the front lobby. Some rickety chairs and tables set there for people to meet. But there is someone else sitting at a table watching over this as we meet our last and final member.
Yeah, so my character, Amira, is sitting at the table reading a encyclopedia of medicine. And she's just not really reading it. She just kind of has it out as a distraction. She has her medical case on the table. And as she's kind of peering through it and flipping pages, she's also looking up and kind of trying to listen to them at the same time. Amira is a nurse and she has her nurse's outfit on. And she takes off her jacket almost like she's trying to make it a little bit more obvious that she's got, the big medical sign on the front. And she's just cycling through the encyclopedia, just listening, pretending she's not listening, trying not to make contact with anyone.
So yeah, as Mira, you listen in as our four compatriots, you all come together, summoned here by Josephus. As we turn to the four of you, how are we arriving? How are we greeting each other?
I think Edith is 100% like put together. She's got like her hair all done, very nice outfit, looking her best as she comes up. She definitely knows Josephus, and she's had an interaction with Chester before. and she's heard of Theodore. But I feel like as she comes up and sees the first two, she'll go up to them and like politely like, "Oh, good to see you, good to see you," and like lean over to give them like a brief hug, more for like formality. And Chester, she'll pat like his big like back and muscles and be like, "Glad to know we have you on the team."
Uh, he just sort of says, he says, great to see you, Miss Farrow. Keeping out of trouble, keeping your nose clean.
Well, I do my best, but you know, sometimes a lady has to get her hands dirty.
No, she doesn't. That's why I'm here.
Well, I don't always have you there, Chester, but luckily you're here now, so I'll leave all the dirtying to you.
Well, you got my number.
I sure do.
Fontaine, what's the story with this scary fella? Looking over at Corvid.
Theodore walks over. Hello, hello, Josie. It's nice to see you again. Our last encounter was, well, if this is the outcome, it was productive, I should say.
I'd be inclined to agree. And I think, but one thing about Josephus right now is everyone shows up. He's fully a white man right now. Um, just, just like kind of. I'm picturing, um, for further context, he's got the shapeshifter transformation. Um, I'm just picturing Nick Fury in the comics and Nick Fury in the movies, and he just flips between the two.
He just bounces back and forth. With
When you said a white man, I thought you were talking about like he's trying to present
Oh,
himself, like he's trying to put on his his professional voice. I didn't think you literally
this is
meant
white
like,
man
oh no, this
Fontaine.
is this is this is white man Fontaine's in the room.
You're a bit paler than I remember.
Ah, yes. Well, sometimes you have to uh, present a different face in certain situations, and I find you get better accommodations. Depending on how you present yourself in these places.
Oh no, 100%. I've heard of a term that kids have been saying it catch on soon. Something called cold splopping, cold flipping,
Yeah,
something like that.
something of that sort.
After Theodore greets Josephus, he is going to look over to Edith and give a bit of a smile, a little smirk. Ah, I, I do believe Miss Sparrow. Is that correct?
Why, yes. A
It
pleasure.
was
You must be Mr. Corvid.
indeed, indeed. Um, I have heard qu- quite a bit about you actually from a dear friend of ours.
Why, yes, I have heard quite a bit about you as well from Mr. Andrew. You know him quite well.
Yes, brother Andrew. Yes, he's a part of the family. I I know him well enough. You two seem to have quite an interesting relationship, um, and it seems that you've acquired quite an interest in my little family.
Well, your family's just so interesting, and I have a liking for interesting information. Can you blame me?
No, no, not at all, not at all. And he'll smile and hold your hands a little longer than is comfortable.
She will just stare right back, same painted smile on.
Indeed. He looks over. Chester, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Slick.
You still have that trinket I gave you.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't needed it yet. Haven't found the haven't found the big buck who's taken me down for the big sleep. So I'm still standing. I've still got another go at this thing.
Good. Just remember, as long as you have that, me and you are friends. You seem to not remember me, but I'll remember you.
He said, Whenever I get a job from Mr. Fontaine, it feels like I meet a new series of shifty characters who speak in languages I never understood before. And so sometimes it takes me a minute to catch back up to speed. Unless, of course, you're a beautiful doll. Remember you right away.
Well, thank you, Chester. I could never forget you. Our first meeting was quite memorable.
Ah, you mean the time that you took me out for a drink and then about 13 different uh forgot a 1920s word for and 13 different toughs tried to cave my head in.
Yes, exactly that. Doesn't happen every day.
Not maybe not to you.
Well, you certainly put on a show. I quite enjoyed it.
Anything for you, Miss Sparrow. And thank you again for the ring.
Of course, of course. Anything for my friends and neighbors. Theodore gives a little sniff to the air, breathes in deeply. Mmm, that perfume, that fragrance. And he looks over to the corner where he sees a young nurse in her deep in a large encyclopedia.
I think Amira is gonna pretend she didn't hear that and just continue to kind of scroll through her book and look through her bag a little bit. She's like, I know I left it in here somewhere. But she's also like looking around the corner a little bit to see what they're talking about.
Theodore walk up. Excuse me. Uh, I just happened to notice the scent of lavender and antiseptic and something else that I can't put my finger on.
Oh, hello. And she closes her book. Amira Jackson. And she puts her hand out to shake. But instead of being like a dainty shake, it's just like a straight up, like she wants to shake your hand like a man.
Well, you definitely have some meat hooks on you, don't you?
Well, I am a nurse. I've got to be a little bit strong.
Yes, you have to hold those patients down, I believe. All those blottos that come in ready to bump off the next man, you have to be able to hold them down. My name is Theodore Covid. Uh, it's very nice to meet you. I'm actually partaking a bit of a adventure with some friends here, but you have garnered my interest.
Oh, um, that's a really weird thing to say to someone you just met, but I'll accept it, sir. What are you guys talking about over there?
Well, to be honest, I don't think it's for me to give out the details. That would be the, well, currently light skinned one over there at the table. But
Oh,
I just wanted to introduce myself. You would like a drink or something?
no,
What about a
I'm
bud?
okay. So he's the boss, and then she packs up her bag and just grabs her stuff and walks right
He's
around
he
him.
was talking kind of with his eyes closed. And he looks up and she's gone. He's kind of just taken it off of by the walking away from him. Well, all right.
She walks right up to Josephus and she's like, Hi, Amira Jackson. It sounds like you guys might need a nurse for whatever it is you're planning, and I am offering my services. And she puts her back.
Josephus shakes her hands like, well, yes, we do. I've got muscle, smarts, charisma, and someone who can patch us up. Well, that'll only help. Um, seemed like Theodore found you by smell. Strange. I saw the book you were reading was a medicine book, and it piqued my interest. I'm glad to know that you're trained in the sciences.
Yeah, I can heal just about anything. And then she kind of looks around. It's a boys' club, I'd say. Oh God, hi. And she sees Edith and immediately like beelines for her. Another girl, thank God. I hope they're not making you do all the thinking. And she kind of looks at the boys.
Well, somebody has to do it, but I'm glad to have another mind to share the trouble with.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. Oh, Amira Jackson. She goes over to Chester. You look familiar. Hmm.
I think he looks back for a moment and looks down at her and he says, I don't know. Where would you know me from? You work in a
No
hospital?
idea. Don't look down at me though, dear. Don't do that. Just look straight. I can look at you. That's fine. I do work at the hospital. Do you get patched up a lot?
I do indeed.
That could be where I know you from.
I'm a regular customer that way. Put my shoulder back in its socket more than once.
Oh,
I don't know if you work the night shift. I tend to show up somewhere between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5.
oh no, I'm a day shift nurse, but I'm sure I've probably heard the stories of your injuries. If just kind of looks them over, if you're anything to go by.
Hey, Mr. Fontaine, are we just taking walk-ins? Is that what this crew is?
Well, we didn't have anyone to patch us up beforehand, and it'll be good to not have to send you all the way to the hospital should, things go that way. Um, let me ask you, Amira, how do you feel about the paranormal things that go bump in the
Sh-
night?
oh, I have no qualms. I suppose is that what this is all about?
Eh,
Something creepy happening?
in a sense, the rest of our group here have received briefings already on the matter, but hmm, he kind of looks around, just like this hotel lobby. He's like, "Well, perhaps we should discuss this uh, away from the public." And you know, uh, shows them all to like where the room is.
Are you
And
sure we want to have this conversation away from the public? Maybe the bellhop wants to lend a hand.
There is a moment as you're getting ready to leave the lobby that a couple other people there checking in. The mention of the name of the bellhop kind of like spins to looks around, caught off guard, but seeing a group of you kind of will rush over like, do you need anything? Anything at all? I'd be more than happy to assist. Your your rooms were booked. Marked as a VIPs. We're very happy to have you here.
this cost me a whole $5.
Uh, and as the bellhop says that, Josephus, that strikes you a little bit odd, as you're not. This was something of a bit of a clandestine meeting. You didn't mark it as VIP. I'd like you to give me an instinct roll.
Ooh, that's a 14 with fear. When I roll with fear, I have the Seaborn community has Know the Tide. It just lets me place a token on the community card that I can cash in later.
Very good. As you look at that, there is this sensation again that a bit of unease that might be passed off to a young boy looking just to get an extra tip from the five of you. But at the same time, you are more distracted by someone else in the lobby, someone that was at the front desk checking in. As you see that this is a very thin gentleman, uh, balding hair, desperately trying to comb over his hat in his hand as he's having a very slow, drawn out conversation at the front desk, asking a lot of questions about the room. And you spot just under the collar of the shirt a little mark of a tattoo that almost looks like a bit of a tendril reaching out. As he sees you looking at him, locks eyes for a moment and quickly goes to the uh, person he's been speaking to. Is like, Never mind. I don't need the room anymore. Good night. Good night." And we'll rush out of the.
Just that we need to follow that man.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you wanted me to pound that Q-tip. Looks like he's got some sort of suspicious mark on his neck. You want me to get a better look?
If you would be so generous.
Just strides across the room and stands in front of the door, just putting himself between the man walking out and his exit. Makes eye contact. This is one of his experiences is just Be big. That is certainly what I'm channeling in this moment.
Yeah, I want you to
I
with
don't know if standing here is a roll, but
for this, yes. With that experience, I want you to make a presence roll with that. Should you wish to use the hope, to use that experience.
yeah, I'd love to. Mm-mm-mm. So my presence is a +1. My experience is a +2. So that means I'm doing this with a +3.
Yes.
Great. That is a 10 fear.
Excellent. As you block the door, just as this man was reaching for the doorknob, looks up at you, and you see that his eyes, the pupils are huge, completely blown out. It almost looks like there's no iris there at all. You can't see the color of his eyes. The whites are completely bloodshot, and as you are looking into it, you can see that the veins are starting to move and twist a little bit, almost like the waves of the ocean, as this man stares up at you, and you don't hear it from his mouth at first. You hear it in your head, and then it comes out of his mouth. You need to get out of the way.
This does not dissuade. This does not dissuade Chester at all. I think he just stares back at his, uncomfortable eyes and just says, "I think there's something wrong with your eyes, Q-Tip. You want to come with us? Why don't you walk into this? Can I see the room that Fontaine was like pointing us towards?
You have like there's the hallway to the hotel rooms. You were heading that way when you caught sight of it, so like you can gesture to the door.
He's gonna kind of turn the guy around or attempt to turn the guy around and put his hand kind of on his back as if to say like we're walking together, and he says, come along with us. I've got something back here that I want you to check out.
Mhm. As soon as you put your hand on this man's back, you instantly feel it is soaked. Like this man has been in a flop sweat, but uh, it gets worse. It gets damper and starting to get a little sticky as all of you watch as this man his body starts to congeal and turns into black ooze and just drops to the ground in a puddle that starts creeping its way under Chester's feet between his legs to slip out under the door jam.
Mr. Fontaine, this fella's made of bile. And I'm going to try to punch it.
Okay. Give me an attack roll to punch a puddle of black goo.
When you're a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail. I've got a +2 to my attack. And so that makes it an 11 hope.
All right. As that is going to hit this strange entity. So you can roll whatever damage you have for that.
I got 17.
All right, 17.
I clicked on it to see if it would show me the math it was giving, and instead it gave me a 17 damage roll, and I'm not going to question it because that's a good number.
That's a very good number. As the creature, as you just are punching this puddle, it is going to make a retaliation. I'm going to spend a fear to have this creature do a reaction, and I need Chester to make an agility reaction roll. So that is just going to be your duality dice plus your agility. These you don't do hope or fear on.
13.
13. All right. As you are punching at it, the goose starts to rise up and tries to wrap around your hand. It is a stinging, burning sensation from the point of contact. As you are going to take 6 points of physical damage, but you do not suffer any other ill effects.
So that's minor damage for me,
Mm-hmm.
which means that I can either mark an armor to ignore it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you can use an armor slot to negate that damage.
Yep. My goal in this game is to take 0 HP damage.
That
That
sounds like a
that is
challenge,
very much
GM.
sounding like a challenge
Mm-hmm.
for me. All right. But while this punching of a puddle happens, the four of you are seeing this whole encounter. As is the gentleman at the front desk and the bellhop, who are absolutely freaking out. But what are the four of you doing?
I think while this is happening, Amira is watching and trying to figure out if it is ethical for her to take a sample of the ooze to study. Um, and so she's watching them fight, and when she sees that he's like wrapped around or like he's wrapping around Chester, I want to use my okay. Now, in my inventory, it's an axe, but in real life, I don't. It's not an axe. I feel like it would just be some kind of like little knifey thing. So I want to use my. I don't know if I want to use my field medic experience to try and get like a little bit, or if I should do like an attack roll to try and like cuts. I like. Is it liquid or is it like putty?
It's very much like melting putty. Like it's mostly liquid, but there are a couple of more gooey substances in there.
Okay.
Like pudding that hasn't fully
Okay.
set yet. Uh
It's an oobleck.
so
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
Yuck. So I would use my
Yeah.
field medic experience, and I have basic supplies. So can I say my basic supplies are going to be like nursing stuff that's in my
Yeah.
bag? So maybe I have like some kind of vial
Yeah,
or
you
something.
can
Okay, I
absolutely
want to
have
use
that.
my field medic experience.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
make a roll for that to try and extract a sample.
Cool. And that is
Mhm.
duality dice plus two.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. That is a 9 with hope. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that is a 12 with hope. Sorry, the line is
Oh,
under the 9. That is a 12 with hope.
very good.
Plus 2,
Yeah,
14.
oh, that is a success. As you're able to just come over as Chester is just punching this thing and just scrape off a little bit on the edge. It doesn't even notice you're doing it.
Oh, good. I'm gonna take this over here and take a look at it, and then I'm gonna just go sit at a table with my little medic kit, and I don't know what they use in 1910, a microscope or something, and I'm just gonna start analyzing
All
it.
right, we will come back
Take
to
that.
that. For the our other three, what would you like to do in this moment?
Did he have any items that he dropped when he turned to
Uh,
goo?
no, it was actually no, his hat. He dropped his hat. There's this goo and then a nice little bowler hat.
Okay. Was he was at the front
Yes,
desk?
he was trying to check into a room, but got a bit dicey once you guys started talking.
I think Edith is gonna see Chester laying into the ooze and be like, he's got this covered. And she's gonna go to the front desk and kind of step in front of the front desk assistant's view to like kind of block
Mhm.
it. Like, "Oh, don't worry about that. He's
What?
great at
What
this
do you
stuff."
mean? Don't worry
Um,
about that. There's a puddle of goop being punched by a large man. How am I supposed to not worry about such a thing?
Honey, I think you've drank too much today. Really, on the job. That's not very professional.
This poor man. Yeah, you can just push him out of the way. He is not offering any resistance. He's just freaking out.
Awesome. I would like to see if that man was able to like sign anything or if there's any evidence of who he was, what is or is pretending to be at the
Oh,
front desk.
excellent. Yeah, that you have the book open there and no roll required. As you can look in and see that he had signed in just about maybe an hour or so before you arrived and had been which was then odd that he had signed in and was sticking around. Uh, but the name there is uh, Barnabas Alastair. And he
Barnabas
has
Alice.
had requested a room just for the night. Specifically requested a night, or specifically made a note that he wanted a room overlooking the water.
Okay. Does it have like a room number or anything?
Yes, room 9.
Perfect. Okay. Um, would it have anything in it about like where he came from or like any other identifying information?
For this type of establishment, it's name. He paid. Like there's a little register with the couple of pounds that he paid.
Okay. Cool. She's gonna clock that, and then just kind of like tell the front desk assistant, like, now why don't you go sit down? Obviously, you are very tired. I think you need a rest. And then after she like tries to usher him off, go sit with Amira to see what she's doing with the ooze.
All right, excellent. As that brings us to that Theodore and Josephus. What would you like to do in this moment?
I think Josephus is vaulting the table and like dashing to this door. Um, he's got for his primary weapons, he's like glowing rings on each finger. I think when he makes a fist, these little like spikes pop up off of him, and it's like this sort of red miasma around his fist. Um, and he's gonna try to, I guess, essentially like punch this ooze, but he's really just like submerging his hand into there to, yeah, try to deal damage and inflict an effect. Um,
All right, excellent. Make your roll.
all right. Oh, okay. That's a 20 with hope.
Oh, beautiful. As that will be an overwhelming success. Uh, do your damage, and if there's any other effect there that you're going to put on our puddle.
So 13 damage, and I'm going to mark a stress to give it what's called a brand of castigation.
Mhm.
Um, so I think when like I pull back my hand, there's this sort of this sear kind of red spot on the surface of the fluid that just is like hard. I guess like rock on top of like lava is what I'm picturing. Um, until the mark disappears, I always know the direction of the creature relative to me. Um, and it marks a stress each time it deals damage to me or an ally of mine within very close range. And it disappears when I use the spell again. Um, and I would turn, I guess, in this moment while I'm doing this to Chester. Like, all right, Mr. Pope, I've mocked him. If he can, I think our working relationship, you'd know that like once I mark someone, I can essentially like track them. Just I'm not sure if we know specifically what warehouse to go to. I just have noted that a warehouse in this area, and I'm like, well, it could be a lot of warehouses.
He looks up at you. He's still just like toom toom toom. He looks up at you as you say that. Yeah, you want me to let him go, Mister Fontaine?
Given the entanglement, I'm not sure who's holding who, but
I I'm holding him. He's
as it
got.
should be.
I've got this bucket of bile exactly where I want it. He's attached himself to the most dangerous part of me, which is my fists.
A
You
fool
tell
to
me to
be.
let him go, I'll let him go. But if you want him in a bucket, I can put him in that too.
Let's let him go. There might
Bellhop,
be
get me
more
a
to put in a
bucket.
bucket.
Sorry, I shouted over what you said.
Yeah, I think Joseph was just like, yes, let him go. Probably lead us to more to put into a bucket.
He opens up the door with his foot and just does a big scooping motion with the hand that he got on to try to just fling him into the street.
Oh, excellent. Two things.
Bellhop, I don't need that bucket
You see the
anymore.
bellhop is like going for like a mop and is like, all right, sir. Um,
Now the mop's not a bad idea. It's going to be sticky as the dickens over here.
as he's still confused. But for Josephus, you as you mark this creature and that bond there, I present you with an opportunity. There is a moment that you feel that this is not a singular creature. This is part of a hive mind. With that link there and this brand, do you want to try and extend that brand? This would be
You might as well.
something that would mark an additional, so there's an additional stress on this and will be a bit more of a difficult role. But you have this connection there to this part of a hive mind, and I leave that up to you.
Yeah, Josephus will do what it takes to get the job done. That's,
All right.
yeah.
Give me another attack roll for your weapon.
It's gonna be a 9 with hope.
A 9, unfortunately, is not enough to pierce through the hive mind, but you are able to roll with hope, so you do not suffer any fearful consequences of it. You do have that additional stress, however. What does it look like for Josephus as he's taken on this extra stress uh, and unfortunately did not pay off?
I think um when he's trying to like overdo it, since a lot of his stuff is like kind of, I guess, sanguine in that blood hunter sense, just some of his veins are darker, like around his eyes, as he tried to really amp up this effect, and there's just like strain showing.
Excellent. And Theodore, before this creature makes its escape as it's being scooped out the door, is there anything you would like to do?
For the most part, Theodore is kind of just sitting back at the bar, smoking a cigarette, and watch it all play out, kind of with a smile on his face, kind of entertained by the entire scenario. This is, if anything, this is going to be an entertaining journey. Uh, I did. You said there was some kind of marking on the guy's neck.
Yes, you saw like the top half of a tattoo of like the end of a tendril, inky looking spiral.
Would it be possible to discern any information from a glimpse that I saw?
Absolutely. Give me a knowledge roll. And this would be about anything that's like eldritch and arcane if you have any experience to put in with that.
Um, so knowledge, and then my experience are more for charismatic things. I mean, they could lean towards that depending on. No, my guy's not a. He's not like a. He's not a book guy. I wouldn't know a whole lot about this, but he has decent knowledge though. That is that's a 10 with hope.
So with that, you only caught a glimpse of it, but it is enough to realize that you have seen a few other people with similar tattoos, different shapes. Again, that's like spiraling tendril uh, on different body parts of people that you had very passing interactions with within your family, as these appear to be some sort of rival organization, um, sort of starting to recruit from your group. Not with any degree of success yet, but they're starting to be a nuisance.
Okay. Yeah. As I receive that information, gives me kind of a pain as my patron begins to rage and lash out, letting me know that that's a enemy faction. Eyes kind of roll back for a minute, and he has to snap himself back and say, "All right, it's understood." Um, well, uh, if you're all done punching the puddle, Are we planning on following this thing to its hideout?
Yes, I've marked
Yeah.
it. I've got a general sense of the direction it's headed in.
Well, we'll take your lead.
Think in this moment, Mira's like, hold your horses, honey. I'm still analyzing this. Give me one moment. And she's just like with her little kit looking at everything. Um, she has a +2 to her knowledge to like recall and comprehend and
Hmm.
stuff like that. Um, so could unless you're gonna give it to me, could I do a
I
knowledge roll to see what kind of
Oh,
information I get?
absolutely going to like you're going to get some base information, but the knowledge rolls if you want to
Okay,
press a little deeper as you all watch as this puddle just kind of slinks its way down the street. A horse whinnies and neighs as it's pulling a carriage and has absolutely no idea what that weird thing was. But that is marked,
fair.
Cephas, you are able to find that when you are ready for it. As we go to Amira with her medical kit.
Cool. So it's +2. Nice. That is a 20.
Okay. With fear or with hope?
Oh, that's a good question. That is, oh shit, I forgot which one is which. I think that's my hope die.
Okay. As you are able to look through and see that this entity is a strange mix. First, there is the first thing that you can pick up without sort of prying is that the majority of the substance is congealed blood. It is not anything fresh. This is something that you only see in cases of people that have been deceased for a bit, or people who have a lot of severe medical conditions. This is not a healthy living person's blood. And it is mixed into it with ink, uh, but not simple ink that you can go buy down at the store for writing your letters. This is a much deeper substance, and also mixed in sea salt. As with this, concluding that this is some sort of creature that came out of the depths of the water and either uh and with the blood there came and took over this person's body, corrupting it, giving them strange abilities, but also slowly killing them from the inside.
Interesting. Okay. Can I? This is a weird way to use my ability, but I have um the Fangs ability that lets me bite a target within melee range. But because I'm not fighting him, can I flip it and use it to taste the stuff to see if I can figure out how long he's been dead?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Okay.
As I first want to describe like how Amira does that, and then how is everyone going to react to whatever Amira does in this. But
Yeah, I think Amira is used to kind of being by herself. And so when she's in this mode where she's like trying to figure something out or she's researching, she doesn't really notice that people are around her. And so normally where she should take precautions, she has not been. So I think she just pulls off her glove and literally just takes a little piece of it and like puts it on her tongue a little bit. And then you can see her like thinking and jotting something down, and she's just like not even aware that anybody is paying any kind of attention to her. She's like, this blood, he's been he's been dead for a while.
Edith is shell shocked. She's just staring at you. Well, that's one way to gather information, I suppose. And she'll kind of get up and walk away. She'll be like,
understandable.
I think she's a little worried that like you might suddenly transform into goo, so she's gonna put some distance between.
Theodore turns around because he was talking to Josephus, and Amira was like, "Hold on one second." He turned around, and as she said, "1 second," and then dipped her finger in the blood pudding and took a look, and he turned around like, "Oh yes, what is it, my dear?" And then watches this happen. He's just like, "Oh, well then."
Well, Theodore, you do have a knack for sniffing out the older ones among us, I suppose. Um, um
Yeah, yeah. I suppose I do that. That was unexpected.
So normally I would do damage.
Yeah.
So it wants me to roll 2d8 for that.
Emotional damage to
But
all of us. We are.
How is everybody feeling
I was
watching this?
I
But
mean, bothered you.
with that,
we gain a stress.
with that using that ability, as in your experience of that, he's only been dead for about a day, a little less.
so I think Mary walks to the group and she goes, "Well, I think he's only been dead for less than a day. Oh, yeah, he that wasn't a live specimen that you were fighting. He's dead. Um, it was a little blood, a little ink, and it was a little saltier than usual. I think a little sea salt.
Than usual.
Oh, that's what I said. Yes, than usual.
As compared to what?
Normal blood,
Right,
obviously.
right.
You're not supposed to have salt in your blood. You're supposed to have blood and pus and bile, right? The humors.
All four of them, of course.
Sure. Um, she turns to the bellhop. Has he been here before?
The bellhop just
The
is
policeman.
clutching this mop for dear life. As he's, uh, uh, yeah, I'm not familiar with that particular gentleman, but I've seen him in the neighborhood. He works he works at one of the docks, unloading some ships, helping out there. Um, yeah, Mr. I'm not really sure what more. I just kind of see him about. Odd that he was coming to stay here. He's a local.
Do you know where he lives?
As I was like, I don't know his exact address, miss, but I can tell you the street. I can bring you there if you need it.
Oh, well, it's up to you guys, but I could use someone to carry my bags.
I was making a
Well,
quip earlier about having the bellhop join the party, but I see that we're taking that seriously.
well, you said it was someone who came from the ocean, correct?
Who, me? Did I say?
Yes,
Is that what I
Amira.
said?
Yeah.
I, the sea salt
Something.
would lead me to believe so. And I think you said that he was asking for a room above the ocean and he works at the dock. So maybe we should split the party and head there.
Perhaps. Do we want to investigate the room at all? I'm not sure if he had a chance to go up or if he only checked in.
That's a
The,
good
the
question.
the bellhop will quickly speak up. He didn't really get much to his room. He booked the room and kind of was sticking around. It seemed like he was maybe waiting for someone. Maybe he was getting the room for a friend. Uh, I I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know more.
There's nothing to be sorry about, dear. You're safe, I promise. Um, okay, well,
Could I?
we have a dock, we have a potential home, and we have a warehouse that we're looking for. So, boss, where do we go?
Hmm. I think. I think Josephus will go. Well, I can keep the trail on hmm, our fluidy friend, and I suppose if we can check out the get a couple folk to check out the house with the bellhop here, which I think Josephus hands him like $1 as a tip. Seems pretty good for the times.
Seems great.
Seems great.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you
Wow,
hold
you
on to
sure
this,
are
bud?
generous.
I'll spend it all in one place
There's
now.
like a brief
Uh,
moment as he's looking at a dollar bill and is like, "Sir, I don't know what to do with this."
oh, right, wrong currency. You see, I get around. Here, take a pound. I don't know the conversion rate.
No, a pound is awfully generous, sir. Thank you.
Right. Um, best lead these people, and I think he just gestures to whoever wants to head to the house, to this place, and yeah.
All right. So, we will have some of us going to the warehouse and some to our suspect's home. Who would like to go where? Well, we'll start with the house. Who wants to go to the house?
I will go. Edith will go.
I think I would go to the house too.
Girls trip.
Chester's going dock/warehouse.
Same.
Well, I hate to admit it, but we need at least one man to come with us, I suppose. I'm not much of a fighter.
Oh, on that note, I will accompany you.
Um, uh,
I had a feeling you would.
Josephus, are you going to go to the warehouse with Chester then?
Uh,
Okay,
yes.
just wanted to make sure, or we were sending Chester all by himself.
I suppose on the assumption that's where like the kind of curse mark would be directed.
Yeah, very keeping a track of the creature is still moving, but it is heading in that direction. As our group of investigators set out into the night streets of Southampton, we first follow our trio of Amira, Edith, and Theodore, following the instructions from a still very rattled and very nervous bellhop who's like a courier, is going to be deeply touched and have his life altered by this evening's events, but is able to guide the three of you to the home of Mr. Alistair, our formerly living for the day or so, currently now a puddle of goo running around or crawling around the streets. But the three of you find a small home, crowded, pressed into a row of other identical homes of the working people of Southampton. The rooms inside are all dark, does not show any sign of anyone being inside at the moment. The neighboring houses do have faint lights on as people are in their homes for the night, unaware of what is transpiring. But the three of you stand before the door of Mr. Alistair's home. What do you do first?
Edith is gonna walk up. I'm assuming that the front door is locked. And Edith has advantage on action rolls to pick non-magical locks. So she's gonna go right up and she's gonna like do a little look around, and then nod to Amira and Theodore, and then pull out like a little lock picking kit, and then start trying to open the door.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so make your roll.
Did not turn out good, friends. That's only gonna be a 4. So this time it did not pay off. This is some funky lock. Edith is not used to this. She's used to the like high quality ones. She's like,
Uh,
the heck.
yeah, absolutely. It is just this is a very simple lock, uh, but it's also it's the kind where it's an older building. It's sticking a little bit. You can see some of the the scuffs on there where it looks like even he has struggled. The door sticks a little bit, but locked to you.
I will, or Theodore will walk over. I think this will work. Hold on, let me see here. Theodore will walk up beside, having some trouble getting in, Edith.
Well, you know, this darn thing is just so old, it doesn't seem to want to budge.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Always finding a way to shift the blame. Is that your type? Well, no worries. Allow me. And he'll, I'm going to mark a stress. I think this will work. Yeah. I'm going to mark a stress. And I have the, what is this called? Ghost transformation. But the way I kind of picture it is I turn into like a shadowy kind of form. I just turn into like a shadow figure. Um, and I'll give Edith a wink and then kind of dissolve into the shadow below me and slink underneath the door, uh, and unlock it from the other side.
Edith, under her breath, just mumbles, "Show off."
Excellent. In a maneuver quite similar to Mr. Alistair's attempt to escape you, you slip under the door and in the front hall, flip the lock and open up to your compatriots. Uh, Inside, the place is has the dirt and the grime of a very busy working man. Scuffs of mud on the floor. There are the layers of it. It looks like this is someone who has not dedicated any time to cleaning up after themselves. No sign as you come through this hallway looking to the rest of the home. No sign of anyone else living here. Um, this gentleman lived completely alone. There is a faded old photograph of a family. You see the semi-familiar face of Mr. Allister as he is much younger in this photograph with his two older parents, but not a lot of other personal touches here. The kitchen is just as dirty. Well used silverware, cups and plates left stacked up. Just seeing a glimpse into a life of a person that only really comes here to eat and sleep. They spend the rest of their time out either at work or at the pub with compatriots. But you have the first floor with a very small, meager sitting room, the kitchen, and then stairs going upstairs to where you would assume bedrooms would be. But where do the three of you start
Ooh.
looking?
I think Amira goes after you, Miss Edith, and she kind of like moves out of the way to let her through the door first.
Why, thank you, darling. At least somebody here has manners.
I try, and she looks over at Theodore and like winks. I'm not gonna wink because Britt cannot wink, but she. I look like Rain Man when I wink. So we're just gonna let you imagine a wink, a little cheeky wink, and then she's gonna follow in right behind Edith.
Are there any like letters or books or anything about?
As you head into the living room, you can see that there are no books there, but there are like scattered newspapers, a couple of the magazines of the time, just very very casual, very light reading. And there is kind of shoved
Hmm.
into the cushion, the back cushion of a sofa, in a very sloppy attempt at a hiding place. You can see a couple edges of some papers sticking out.
He's gonna snatch that right out.
Excellent. As you can see, a series of letters written in an elegant handwriting, looping cursive. Uh, that the letters are addressed to Mr. Allister as describing a very professional sounding relationship between him and his employer, talking about new work coming in and how he has to handle certain shipments with more care as he has been assigned a very specific task of safeguarding valuables that are coming into the warehouse and then being transported out. And you see the most recent letter describes a shipment that is to be coming into the warehouse this week and then being shipped out again this very evening. As there is a note simply that the at the very end of the letter reading, "This package is of the utmost importance for our associates. They will be setting sail on the Titanic and it needs to be ready and waiting for them."
Um, Edith is gonna read that, and she's going to walk over to Amira and hand it off and say, "It looks like our friends are about to find something quite interesting over at the docks where they're headed."
Oh, I think she's gonna look at the letter and kind of look it over. The Titanic. That sounds familiar. Theodore, do you know anything about
Uh,
this?
Interestingly enough, I've heard of this ship. It's supposed to be some new unsinkable cruise ship. I was actually thinking of purchasing a ticket not too long ago, but got tangled up in some other business. But a shipment on a cruise ship is just circling and coming back. What could they be shipping out? And he kind of looks around. Uh, it's pretty chaotic in this space, right?
Yes, the mess and the clutter, um, and as for the Titanic, the three of you can decide how much you know of it. It is being widely publicized. Even some of the newspapers scattered about here are featuring articles about the unsinkable Titanic, the pomp and circumstance surrounding her voyage across the sea to bring people to New York. All of the luxury and the elegance that is being described there. Um, but it is very much again these descriptions clashing with the mess and the clutter here, these papers left about.
Yeah, he's gonna say that Theodore is there. It's quite familiar state. It seems like he remembers being enthralled by his patron early on, the chaotic state he was in before he was able to kind of gain some composure. So this scene is very familiar. He looks at the stairs. Uh, Excuse me a bit. And he wants to go see if he can find a place where this man may have spoken to his patron, or tithe to whatever this thing is, or kept some artifact or some room with symbols or something like that.
Very simply heading upstairs, the creak of the floorboards as you go. Uh, there's the faint sound of a little skittering as you believe that he might have a rodent roommate as his only companion here. But you get up and immediately can see at the top of the stairs into the door into the bedroom is slightly ajar, but you can see marks in black streaks of these spiraling tendrils across the walls of this bedroom.
This is what I expected. Yes. I wonder if I can reach out and I'm gonna touch one of these markings and I'm gonna try and I guess reach out to see if I can speak to whatever entity he may have been connecting with.
Okay. This is going to be a presence roll. As you try to extend your mind, your spirit through these magic or these arcane eldritch markings.
Oh, that's a double six.
If there was any moment
Nice.
to be a critical success, it would be this. Uh, as you go and see this room with these symbols uh, painted over and over, you can see that they're kind of like done like with just bare hands, sloppy finger painting, with like smaller ones or with just a finger, and then like full hand doing this spiral pattern. As you can feel the air in here, it even smells different. There is that salty tang, kind of in your nose, even getting into your mouth as you breathe in, and you reach out, and you don't hear a voice. You hear a faint song, a melody reaching back, a faint little beat. Da, da, na, 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 na. Just softly repeating through your mind as this reaches out across somewhere, maybe near, maybe far.
Fuck. um, so the scene, if this was being filmed, uh, Theodore is going into that trance state, and so he's in the middle of the room, connecting to whatever this is, floating, eyes twitching, black veins popping, and you just hear in the background the song in this terrible scene, and he's gonna try to uh, connect with this thing beyond the song. And what do I call you?
As you reach out and you ask that question, and the song starts to fade as you get a response that doesn't sound like any voice that you've recognized. It resembles, in a way, your communions with your own patron that press into your mind. Uh, Not words being uttered, but you can form the word in your mind. Cthulhu. And then after that, just with that critical success, a little bit more seeps through this connection. We will open the door.
Um, the door. The door. From where?
And again, just repeating, open the door, open the door. And you feel your own heart start to race as it is pressing harder and harder against you, trying to pull you in now. As I need you to make an instinct reaction.
That is a 15 with fear.
All right. As this is going, and you feel your the pounding in your heart to the point that like you can feel it, kind of the veins in your neck starting to beat faster and twist, and it feels like there is something wrapping around your throat. And you are going to take 5 points of magical damage
Okay,
uh,
that is
as
below my minor. Do I have
as
anything?
you are struggling to breathe, as it's something that is starting to reach out and choke you from both inside and out. Uh, and at this point, downstairs with Edith and Amira, you can hear that faint, almost or whispered hum of that same melody coming from upstairs.
Do you hear that?
Yes.
He's been up there quite a long time.
Knowing him, he might have gotten himself in some trouble. Maybe we should go check it out.
Okay. And then she's gonna grab her little medical pack, and she seems a little too giddy to go upstairs and see what's happening. But she's just like, I guess it's a good thing
Just
I'm here
let's
then.
be cautious. And as they head up, is it possible for Edith to be hidden as she tries to like go up towards where Theodore is, just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can kind of. Everything is dark here. There's plenty of shadows to hide behind. As again, you come up the stairs, see the open door, and you see Theodore just suspended there. And both of you can catch a glimpse of what looks to be some shadowy thing wrapping and twisting around his throat.
Uh,
Um. Mm. Oh shoot! I should. If I was up here, I could have done that. Uh. I am going to.
No, no, I'm gonna die.
Oh. Okay, I can also hide in the shadows. That's good to know.
You
We're
both
gonna
see
just
this
hide
and
and
you're like,
watch.
nope, we're hiding.
Oh.
yeah. Well, if I could stay hidden.
I was gonna ask you if I get extra advantage because I'm black and there's shadows, and like, can I use that to my advantage? But I wasn't sure you were gonna go for that. So,
Just watching. I mean, you guys can absolutely stay hidden in the shadows for as long as you want.
Well, I think Edith was waiting to see if Amira was going to do anything, but if Amira is pausing while hidden, she'll go ahead. Edith will go out with her dagger and try and stab at whatever is holding on to Theodore.
Okay. So this is I'm going to have you make an attack roll. There's going to be a couple of different tiers to this difficulty. As this is a creature, an entity that is wrapped around there, but it's not fully solid. So you have to be very precise to hit just it and not Theodore.
Okay. Do I do I get any advantage from being hidden or
Yeah, you would get that d6 of advantage.
okay, cool. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's good. That is a 19 with hope.
Excellent. You are able to come up behind and uh, very gently go through with your knife and just Theodore, you can feel it on the back of your neck, just grazing through as it slices, nicks into this tendril. There is a discordant shriek that all of you hear before this force dissipates and releases Theodore. Again, linger in that shriek, echoing just a little bit. Open the door.
Theodore falls to the ground. The door. Open the door. Na, 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 na. Oh, oh,
Have you lost your mind? What are you muttering about now?
oh. Oh, he looks around and sees. Well, I don't know if he sees a mirror.
No, no,
mm-mm.
He's
just
standing in
Edith.
the shadows.
It's so dark in here, I can't see. Um, he adjusts his suit and slicks his hair back. Well, no, I'm fine. I appreciate the assist there. Uh, what did you What did you see?
There was some kind of shadowy tendril wrapped around your neck. It was like it was there, but not.
Yeah, yes. we we've stumbled upon something I think bigger than our friend may have Mr. Fontaine may have expected. Are you familiar with Cthulhu?
I'm assuming with her various experience gaining occult knowledge, Edith would probably know about Cthulhu at least to some extent, right?
Yes, you would have that passing knowledge of an ancient old creature, eldritch abomination of the deep. Uh, one of one of many such creatures, but very very powerful. Not one to be dabbled and played with lightly.
Well, I've heard a thing or two. Are you saying that whatever that was that grabbed you was in leagues with Cthulhu?
I believe so. Uh, where's the Where's the other one? The woman with the strange tape.
I think Amira is like running her hand along the wall to see if she could figure out where those tentacles were coming from and whether or not it was real. Like she's trying to piece together, but she's listening. And so you can hear her while she's like going along the wall going, my grandmother told me about Cthulhu, you called him? Yeah, we knew about him down in New
Oh,
Orleans.
a fellow swamp dweller, I see.
Oh, is that where you're from?
I've spent some time down there.
Hmm. I believe you. Men from New Orleans have a certain air about them. Then she looks at Edith. Don't trust them.
Oh, honey, I never trust anyone.
Smart girl.
You definitely shouldn't
Um,
trust me.
I believe it. She is gonna reach in her bag and she has like a notebook that's like full of like the old wives' tales her grandmother used to tell her. She wants to go through it and see if she's written down anything specific about Cthulhu that
Mm.
could be helpful in
Yeah,
this moment.
looking through the notebook, very much similar to the information Edith had, just in passing, is this was something that most people in this line of work, your grandmother and others would know that is not something to be trifled with, not something to specifically record as well. Even this symbol, as you are looking and
Mhm.
having your hands run over that, again, you get that feeling of like this is with like black paint, black ink, but that little grit there is salt has been mixed into it. As this was real. Uh,
Mhm.
these symbols are conduits to help channel not the full entity, but a slight aspect, a way for it to peek in and observe.
I'd be careful
Mhm.
writing that name down and touching those symbols. Cthulhu is one is you touches his throat. You don't want it reaching back.
Uh, I think Amira makes kind of a face and she goes, well, you know, our ancestors wouldn't have called him Cthulhu. That's not the name I have in this book. I don't know what the fuck they would have called him. Some I don't know,
Well,
the
yes, the
octopus man or
crawdad.
something.
I believe you called the crawdad. Some called him the crawdaddy. I've heard that name.
Dear God. Would Amira mind if like Edith like saddles up next to her and like tries to like peer over her shoulder at her notes?
Mm,
Okay, cool. She's gonna just like
no, yeah, go
peruse
right
as well
ahead.
to see.
I think she's gonna like lean over a little bit so you can look at it too. I think she gets very excited when people care about her research, so she's more than willing to be like, "Look, here's the thing I have." Um, we should probably get down to the docks and let the boys know what it is we're running up against. Because if they're close to the water, who knows what comes next?
Yes, I suspect they'll be finding out quite soon who we'll be dealing with.
I guess it's a good thing they got that big one with them then.
Yeah, and here's a ring of revival that I give him. He'll live. He'll live. He'll live through. Yeah, he'll live.
Is that true, or are you playing a poor prank on him?
Of course, it's true, Miss Sparrow.
And with that, we pan across Southampton to uh, Josephus and Chester, following the path that this pole that this creature is guiding you to, as it is pulling you into the warehouses, these massive buildings, all in rows. You can see even now it is late, but there are figures with horse-drawn wagons pulling boxes in and out. You can kind of hear some of snippets of conversation from the workers complaining about having to work late, but the those fancy rich, or no, that's southern, it's not British. Jeez, I'm not good at a British accent. Uh, oh, oh, governor, those fancy folks on that big old ship, they need their fancy whatnots and what's the calls it's. Hearing this conversation, as I would like. Oh, actually, no, you don't need to roll for this. You have the connection. Um, you can pinpoint the exact warehouse that your puddle has escaped into, but actually, Josephus, I still would you like bleh, I would like you to make an instinct roll for me.
That's oh wait, no, that's two ones, but with fear.
Oh, well, two ones is a critical success.
Nice.
So that is very good. Uh, but you are looking past, and you can see and these wagons going off, and you catch a glimpse of one of them being pulled by a horse with a lot of like large suitcases and trunks on it. There, you can hear the notice that this is being sent as a priority rush to get to the Titanic, as the Titanic will be leaving in the morning of April 10th. There were some, in the conversation between the gentlemen, some additional missives from the fancy rich folk needing to get some of their more precious belongings brought on for the voyage. But you also catch a glimpse inside the warehouse as a figure that just helps load up that wagon is going back inside, and you see it on the back of his arm, that same tattoo, that same spiral tendril mark, as he is looking around and is suddenly moving faster to get into the warehouse where your puddle is hiding.
Fontaine, I think that guy's made a bile as well.
Remember what voice? Um, it's fully gone. um, I guess. Uh, there's probably a good number of them in here. Maybe the stronger numbers. I best
Well,
hmm,
first one wasn't too tough. I'm not too worried about it.
best be prepared. How do you suppose we gain entry into this facility?
Front door always works for me.
All right. Mm, I think Josephus would kind of get up to the front door of this warehouse, seeing things going in and out. Um, I guess is there like a someone like at the door, or am I able to just kind of walk inside?
You can just walk inside. The large loading doors are open as they just finished loading up this wagon that is heading out. You Nobody is stopping you, as most of them are occupied with that wagon and getting ready. And it's just the figure that you're with the tattoo that is following in, that you're following in, is really the only one you see in this
Okay.
specific building.
I think Chester's thumbs are hooked through his suspenders and his shoulders are rolled back in what I can only describe as a casual but confident stroll. Long strides, head on a swivel, kind of keeping one eye on Fontaine for his cues, but just broadly
Yeah.
entering with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of confidence.
And you can see the man that you've been tailing is kind of crouched over by some of the other crates that are here, and you can spot that he's looking at a wobbly puddle of black goo, looking deeply concerned, and a hand is like reaching out to make contact with this substance. But hearing your approach, he quickly looks up, stares at the two of you. You're not supposed to be here. You here causing trouble?
We're inspecting the packages for the ship.
Well, well, my friend, you missed them. Packages have gone out already. Everything here
Well,
is not due to be shipped out for a few more days. So you
you
best
can take
best
a
to be
look
on
at
your way then.
the ledgers. They just the folk, the high brass with the organizing the crews. They want to make sure everything's ship shape. If you forgive the pun.
He scowls. I hate wordplay. He starts heading towards the two of you. You see, there's a small just baton on his belt that he puts a hand on. Uh, for a brief moment, he glances back, and you see the puddle is like slinking behind a box, trying to be subtle. Uh,
Mm.
but there's a moment you catch a little twitch of this gentleman's face as his pupils suddenly expand again, the pulsing red veins in his eyes. Really shouldn't have come here. As he is going to lift his baton and make a swing at Josephus. Does a 15 hit Josephus?
Uh, yes, my evasion is 9.
All right. So that is just going to be 3 points of physical damage as he just goes to swipe you with this baton, like right in the side, like right a stomach gut hit.
Chester, they're all bad. We gotta, we gotta deal with them. Um, I'm gonna try to get to that puddle. If you could uh, parlay with our friend here.
Yeah, Slim here and I have got a lot to talk about. Um, is there a? He's just got a baton, right? He hasn't gone full goo or anything like that.
No, just a man holding a baton.
Uh, I think that Chester's going to haul off and just put a haymaker into the shoulder of the arm that he's holding the baton with. Chester knows, as somebody who fights with his
Mhm.
mitts, when people are reliant on a weapon or a tool or whatever, it's much easier to take the arm out than try to take away a weapon.
All right, roll to attack.
That's not great. Uh, a 7 fear.
7 fear. With that, as you go to make contact, he moves unnaturally fast. Even his body starts to look a little less s- skeletal structure. The arm kind of is bending in a way that no bone should go. As with that fear move, it goes back to him as he's going to try now make a swing at Chester. That is an 18 to hit.
Yep, beats my evasion.
All right, as that's going to be oops, another 3 physical damage. Uh, as his uh, as his arm kind of bends a little bit too far, and he tries to swipe right at your face.
He's gonna mark armor again. This is just good old fashioned. Once fisticuffs come up, hands on either side of the head. Swinging at the head is just you get the back of my arm instead.
All right, excellent. With that, Josephus, what would you like to do?
I'm going. Can I use a feature and a spell in like the same turn?
Uh, that depends. What the because usually it's your action for a spell. Um, which feature are you looking at? I don't know
This
if
one
it's something you
is
can use with a
blood
spell.
hunter hope. It's a blood maledict. Spend 3 hope to target a creature within far range, um, or in a vision until you finish a rest. Take severe damage. Or use the feature again. You have advantage on all action rolls against the target.
Yeah, I think you can use those in conjunction because you have to do that to get the advantage on the. I think. Uh,
Cool.
yeah.
And
Sorry,
I
I
think
was looking through the book, and that's not the book with Blood Hunter in it.
no, you're all good. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to target that puddle if it's within far range. Um,
yeah, it is.
and yeah, Josephus kind of once that first haymaker goes towards that guy's shoulder, is gonna try to like tuck and roll and try to get line of sight on the puddle and just use the spell blood spike. Um, I
Nice.
think how it looks is he opens his coat and there's just like vials of blood in there. Um, and he pops one open. Spellcast roll against a target within far range. On success, mark a stress, deal d10 magic damage to the target. Um, okay. Oh, on success with hope. Okay. So I'll roll a hit with that. Okay, that's a 14 with fear.
A 14 will hit. So roll your damage.
Right, that's 9. And I mark a
9.
stress
Okay.
because it was with
A good deal of damage. Our group, already having suffered from some hits before, is not in very good shape, but he is going to try and retaliate. As much as this is at a distance, the creature, this puddle, just kind of zips across the floor, and a spear flies out at uh, at our wonderful Josephus fort. That is a natural 20
Oof.
to hit. Uh, as you're going to take 10 magic damage as this spear of this goo, the ink, the blood just hits right through your chest. You stagger back, feeling yourself this unnatural cold. Your whole body feels like you've just been submerged in icy waters. Um, with that, we go back to Chester and Josephus. What would you like to do in retaliation?
Uh, I think that when Chester sees Fontaine take that spear, he just goes, "All right, I guess this is gonna be Chester's time to shine." And I've got a question. I have a few class features, and I'm not totally certain on how many of them I can use. So, first off, I have an ability where I can spend 3 hope to get 2 armor. Can I just do that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Features and things like that are usually for like you can stack on with like with the feature for that the blood hunter. It's to help out with certain roles and things like that. Eh,
and the other thing I was going to ask,
just as long as you have the
I do.
resources.
I have exactly 3 hopes I'm spending. I've used 2 of my armor, so I'm just resetting my armor and emptying out my hope. Um, and then I also have a class feature called Unstoppable, which is basically where I start dealing some more damage and I take a little bit less damage. Um, can I enter into that and still hit this guy?
Yeah.
There it is. I think what Unstoppable looks like is Chester just kind of like spits on the ground and like rolls his sleeves up. I think before he was trying to look a little bit presentable. And when he rolls his sleeves up, you see that like his forearms, his hands, they are just covered in scars and burn marks. And he is somebody who has gone, fist first into a lot of these situations over his time. Um, what Unstoppable does functionally is it reduces the severity of physical damage I take, and it has this stacked thing called the Unstoppable die, where every time I deal damage with it, it gets larger, and then after a 4, it goes away. So I'm gonna hit the guy with the billy club. He says, "Listen, bud, you don't seem that tough. You're gonna have to get a lot tougher. Or this is gonna be over real fast. Uh, you got any more goo back there? You better grab it." Oh, there you go. That's 2 10s.
That is a critical
Nice.
success. Very nice.
For
Crit for crit.
for rolling damage, do I do anything different for a
So
crit?
so for crits, it is you roll your regular damage dice and then max damage. So if it's a d6, it's 6 plus whatever you roll.
Also, do I get to mark? Does that count as hope when I crit?
Uh, yes, crits always are with hope.
Okay. So I roll my dice. Though I don't roll my dice because it's max damage.
When you roll the dice and then add, it's basically crunchy crits from with D&D. So it's a d6. It's 6 plus whatever you roll on the d6, or whatever the die is. I just picked a d6
My
as an
my damage
example.
dice is 2d10 plus 6 right now.
Oh, okay. So that would be 20 plus whatever you roll on the
Hot
d10s.
damn. It's plus 6 instead of plus 5 because of the unstoppable right now. So
Okay.
20 plus, that is 2 9s.
Oh, yeah. How do you finish this guy
This is
off
just so
after telling him that he needs to get
it's
stronger?
pretty simple. When you saw him fighting the goo before, that was just him kind of like slamming this thing. I'm channeling a very specific moment in the Bleach anime or Bleach manga, but this is just basically when he like gets into unstoppable mode. He just actually gets into a boxing stance. he just actually, instead of just swinging his meat hooks around, just like trying to bash things as they come up, this is him taking a breath, hitting the stance he is supposed to, and channeling his arms into like a proper form punch. And the second it just makes contact with this dude's body, it's just spray of black ichor where he used to be.
uh, in in amazing. It's just this the body goes limp, just laying on the ground. Which instead of normal blood, that congealed black ichor, as you defeated this goon.
He stops and looks at him. He's like, "I
Well,
told you were supposed to get tougher. I thought you were going to put up a bit of a fight, but here we are." Fontaine, these guys aren't that tough. Are you done with yours? You
Almost.
want a hand?
I certainly wouldn't
All
mind
right, I'm
one.
coming. He just starts to walk over.
but and what would so yeah, with that seeing that defeat, Josephus, what would you like to do? There's a puddle charging at you.
Yeah, I think Josephus is charging towards the puddle. His like, I think the blood from like the spear, the blood from the wound from the spear, um, is sort of coursing down towards his hands and sort of amplifying his strength through his power through pain ability.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, he's just gonna use like a melee attack with these glowing rings he's got. And I forgot I
awesome,
have
yeah.
advantage on rolls.
Uh,
Right after I did the thing to get advantage on rolls.
uh,
um,
yes.
so the better
Um,
one is an 18 with fear.
okay. So that the 18 definitely will hit. Roll your damage because how much damage you do will decide if this guy gets to live to do his reaction with fear. Uh,
17 damage.
oh, how do you finish off our puddle? You guys are doing some excellent damage.
Yeah, I have a +8 now because I'm missing HP.
That
It just keeps scaling up the more HP I lose.
rules.
That's
Um,
that's so cool.
I think there's like another spear about to shoot out from this puddle, but like in the instant it's coming out, my fist is colliding and pushing the spear, just like jamming it through the puddle, which is weird because it's a little puddle, but a lot of spear, and the spear seems to be pushing through the puddle into the ground.
Excellent. As the puddle breaks apart, this goo kind of starting to bubble and corrode away like acid. But there's a strange moment. The bubbling and popping leaves a melody in the air. Same da 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 da. As it leaves that song in the air, as it bubbles and fades away, as we pull back from this our two triumphant these two triumphant in this fight, as our others are coming to join them, as we look out over the nearby water, look